Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 748th meeting of South Delhi Toastmasters Club. Before we kickstart the meeting, let me tell the club mission statement. In Toastmasters, we provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their leadership and communication skills, resulting greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we start the meeting, we have few ground rules. I will request all the members and the guests, please adhere to those rules. Rule number 1, when the speaker is on the stage, please keep yourself on mute mode so that there is no disturbance to the speaker. Rule number 3, please keep your cell phone on silent mode or either on the switch off mode so that there is no disturbance in our learning process in between of the meeting. Rule number 3, please do not forget to pass on the feedback to the speakers when the speech is over. As we all know that feedback is champion, feedback is the breakfast for the champions. And last rule is, here at Toastmasters, we do not talk about politics, religion, and sex. So please avoid these terms in the offensive way. Now with this, I conclude my speech and going to hand over this stage to our charming President of South Delhi Toastmasters, Toastmaster Param.
Thank you so much, Mohan, for that enthusiastic start. Hello, everyone. Can I see all your beautiful faces? Can you please come on video? Let's make this meeting lively. Thank you so much. So, as you know, that Toastmaster is quite an old format. Okay, I want to ask when Toastmaster was founded. Okay, can anybody tell me when Toastmaster was founded and who was the
2nd October 1924.
Great. And who founded it? Who was the founder of Toastmasters? Anybody? Great. I hope you're not using Google. So the next question is, when South Delhi Toastmaster was founded? Anybody? The year or the date?
2nd February
1st February
2006.
So the one of the founding members, Toastmaster Rajiv, have given the right answer that it was founded on 1st February 2006.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. We can hear you, sir.
1st February 2006.
Right, sir. Correct answer.
1st February 2006.
Right, sir. Correct answer. So I want to tell you all that tomorrow we are going to have something very important. Tomorrow we are organizing so that we can celebrate the legacy of this 14-year younger club. Tomorrow we are going to have the SDTM alumni meet, and we are calling each and every leader and member who have invested in creating this legacy of leadership, of communication, of anything, whosoever who joined this club. They come like strangers, but they become friends. They become relatives. They become sometimes. I've seen couples in our club also. But yeah, the best part about South Delhi Toastmaster Club is that this club has seen very ups and downs. But one thing that was consistent, that the commitment of leaders. I want to share a current example. Our very own Toastmaster Mayank has just get news of like he got COVID. But when I asked him that I will create the meeting link, he told me, no, Param, I will create the meeting link. And I surely ensure that everything is set in place. He was ill, but the commitment was there. There is nothing profit which is this organization getting it, but there is a commitment of leadership which the leaders have in this club. And tomorrow we are going to celebrate that. And this is my invitation to all of you that please tomorrow from 3:30 until 5 p.m. request you to please go ahead and come in the meeting, because tomorrow we are going to celebrate the legacy of South Delhi Toastmaster Club with our alumni. from last 14 years. And we are lucky to have Rajiv sir as he's our founding member and still the member of our club and being a guiding light for us. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajiv. Now I can see some new names, so I would like to know about them. So I can see Shoaib. Hi, Shoaib. Welcome to South Delhi Toastmaster Club. Can you share a brief intro about yourself?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for inviting these opportunities. My full name is Shoaib Akhtar. You can call me Shoaib. And about my qualification, I am doing undergraduate from IGNOU. And I am very passionate to learn English. I want to become a public speaker. That's why I have decided to move on a Toastmaster. It is a very good opportunity to give everyone who are interested to become a public speaker.
Great. You are on a right place, Shoaib, and hope you will learn a lot from this meeting also. So without further ado, let me call the anchor of the evening. The anchor of the evening is a very dear friend of mine. One thing I really like about her is the commitment and dedication. She's joining this meeting from Canada, and whenever she takes any responsibility given to her, she always ensures she do it and make it to the next level. And our today's anchor is quite bubbly. I say she's having an ever smiling face whenever she comes in the meeting. And after a meeting, I always see an Insta post that's SDTM is my love, and she tag a lot of people. So let me call one of the responsible members of our club, Toastmaster PARUL, as the TMOD of the evening. Toastmaster PARUL, welcome to the virtual stage of South Delhi Toastmaster. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Param, for an interesting introduction. A very good evening to all. It's actually morning, so I get confused. And I would like to begin by asking a question to all, and you can unmute yourself and answer. No need to write on the chat. What is a hobby according to you?
Hobby is a, can I tell?
Yeah, go Meenakshi. Meenakshi was about
a hobby is something that you don't need to find time for. Hobby is your passion. Even if you are busy, you would find time to pursue that.
Okay, good one. Anybody else?
Sandra wants to say.
I think Abu.
Yes, Sandra.
Sandra?
Yeah, hobby. I think hobby is a thing that we do with interest, and we have very we have interest in that thing. See, if I'm giving an example. I'm a singer. I sing, so I have interest in singing. So that is my hobby. So
yeah, understood.
Hobby is a thing that you do with love and greatness.
Love and greatness. Wow. Okay. As per Google's definition, hobby is a regular activity done for enjoyment, typically during one's leisure time, not professionally and not to pay. The only thing that resonates out of that entire definition to me is done for enjoyment. It's supposed to be something that makes you happy. It doesn't have to be something that has a checklist or something you stress about. Okay, I haven't, gone and played my guitar. So, you start stressing about it. Your hobby is supposed to de-stress you or distract you from a busy day. So it doesn't have to be done regularly. It doesn't have to be done at a specific time or, once a month you have to sort of do it. It's something that you can go back to anytime you want to. And it's supposed to de-stress you, not add on to the stress that we already have in our daily life. How many of you have heard this phrase that says that you should have 3 hobbies? One that helps you make money, one that keeps you fit, and one that helps you be more creative. How many of you have heard this?
I love the money one.
I would like to have that hobby which helps me generate a lot of money.
Okay, but
I love the creative one though.
Creative one, yeah. So the thing is that I disagree with this. I completely disagree. Because my hobby is supposed to make me happy. If it becomes my work, it'll become like a 9 to 5 thing or something that has deadlines. Or my hobby could be a sport, but it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to make me healthy, or my sport can be a lifestyle choice. It doesn't necessarily have to be to make me healthy. If I'm doing something which does not involve physical involvement, which is something like singing or playing an instrument or just doing some art, that doesn't have to get me money or make me physically active. Obviously, you can end up liking what you do. Your hobby can end up paying you for some time, but it necessarily does not have to be that. They can be byproducts of that. So the important thing here is to have a hobby, to cultivate a hobby. And sometimes you feel that you don't have a hobby or you need to find something new. So join clubs, join classes, talk to new people, go out and try new activities with them. And definitely you'll find something that makes you happy apart from your work and apart from your lifestyle choices. So with this, I would like to begin the meeting, which is today divided into two sections, which is the prepared speech section and the evaluation, followed by a special section on how to craft effective speeches by DTM Rupinder. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to the general evaluator to introduce his team. Over to you, general evaluator, Toastmaster Amir.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests. I'm playing the role of general evaluator today. So basically, my role will be to evaluate the entire meeting from a broader perspective, to note down things like whether all the role players performed their roles in the right manner, if there are any areas of improvement for the role players, how was the hygiene of the meeting in terms of any disturbances that were caught, and in general, how did we do on timings and things like that. So to do this, in the evaluation segment, there are also a team of speech evaluators who will be introduced in the due course of the meeting. And we also have a set of auxiliary role players. These auxiliary role players will be introduced now one by one, and they will in turn explain their roles. So to start with, I will invite the timer of the day, Toastmaster Sonika, to come and explain her role to us.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. A goal without a plan and time limit is just a wish. Good evening, everyone. I am the timer of today's meeting, and my purpose is to time the whole meeting. And to signal the time to each role player, I will use 3 colors: green, yellow, and red. I will show green when the speaker completed minimum time, will show yellow when the speaker will complete mean time, and red when the speaker will complete the maximum time. Today we have 2 sections. First is prepared speech section, in which we have 3 speakers, and each speaker has 5 to 7 minutes. So I will show green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. In the evaluation section, each evaluator is given 2 to 3 minutes. I will show green card at 2, yellow card at 2.5, and red card at 3 minutes. Also, there is grace period given of 30 seconds on both lower hand and upper hand. So I request all the speakers to please stick on time. And now I will present my report in the evaluation section. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonika. And now I would like to invite Toastmaster Saurabh, who is playing the role of grammarian, to come and explain his role to us. Toastmaster Saurabh.
You're on mute, Saurabh.
Is I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. So yes, as a grammarian, hi all, myself Saurabh Saini. Today I will be playing the role of grammarian, and I believe personally the hobbies are the boost of the people energy. So in respect to that, I will say so many people have sorry, I lost. So many people have different kind of hobbies, like reading books, exploring something, and discovering something which never been discovered. Over here, today, personally, even I have found some of the people have gone through their life and they consider passion is the thing that they are following, but later on they found it's a hobby. And the same is otherwise too. They think that the hobbies are the thing which are generally the hobbies, but they later in the later life they found it's a passion. I'm today as a grammarian, I'm not good at, but I'm just trying to make it through. So okay, I will be sharing. I'm having some notes. Sorry, I will be referring it. So I will be pointing out good usage and the not so good usage, grammatical mistakes, pronunciation mistakes during the whatever being made by the speakers or the all of the role players. I will keep note of the numbers of time the idiom of the day or the word of the day is being used. I will like I will like I'd be happy if all of us acknowledge once the idiom of the day is being used of the or the word of the day is used by showing the thumbs up. Please avoid using the Hindi or any other languages. If required, please do translate it in English so that everyone can understand it. And here I'm just sharing the screenshot of idiom of the day. Can I share screen? Sorry, I don't have the share screen rights. Okay, so the word of the day is phenomenal, which means remarkable or exceptional, spatially exceptionally good. The example is like after seeing the play, the critics praise the young actress on her phenomenal talent. And the idiom of the day is sell your soul. Doing something moral or legally wrong in order to get something that you want very much. For example, he would sell his soul to get that job. In the end, I will be sharing my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. And we will now move on to the R counter, which is being played by Toastmaster Diksha. So I would request her to come and give the introduction of this role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. I am Diksha. I'll be the hour counter for the evening. My job is to note down overused words or filler words such as, one of the words is such as, and, well, so, and overused and filler such as, us, and over long pauses. So any pause that might exceed more than 3 or 4 seconds, I will be noting down those. In the end, I will be submitting my report to you and letting you know which all words are being used the most, which all sounds are being used the most. So one thing that I would like to mention is that all these words, filler words, pauses, these are basically used by speakers when they're thinking. However, while you are thinking, these filler words and sounds may actually hinder the effectiveness of your speech and how well you are able to communicate to the listener. So it is important to avoid such usages. And I hope you all have phenomenal speeches who all have prepared it. Thank you. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diksha. This was with regards to the introduction of the evaluations team. I will now hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day to carry on with the first segment. Over to you, Toastmaster Parul.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amir. Now let's begin with the most interesting part of our meetings, that is the prepared speech section, where our speakers have put in hours of hard work to present a speech in front of you. So our very first speaker is Toastmaster Meenakshi. And before I call her on stage, I would like to call our SDTM's dashing actor as her evaluator, Toastmaster Udit, to give us a brief summary about the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Udit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Parul. That was really sweet. A very sweet introduction from your end. And I want to wish everybody out here a very good evening. And I'm happy to see all of you after a very long time. Now, I would like to discuss about the objectives that Toastmaster Meenakshi has for her speech today. I'm going to talk about the purpose statements, and I will read that aloud for you. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from her first speech. Now she would be delivering her P1, E2, and here's wishing Toastmaster Meenakshi all the very best. I'm sure she's going to rock the game. Back to you, Toastmaster Parul.
Thank you, Toastmaster Udit. So when I asked Toastmaster Meenakshi what her hobbies are, she says reading books and listening to music are her hobbies. And something that she left and she wants to begin again is chanting or meditation. And the most interesting thing is that she told me that she's trying to learn the piano, and I really like people who play musical instruments. So I'm already a big fan of Toastmaster Meenakshi. So with this, I would like to call her on stage. Toastmaster Meenakshi, Dear Zindagi, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Parul, for a lovely introduction. And thank you, Udit. I really look forward for a great feedback. Well, today, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today, I would be delivering my speech on Dear Zindagi. This is one of my favorite movies, right? And I would talk about that how Alia Bhatt has played the leading character in the movie. And she's very ambitious and she has played the role of a cinematographer. She is very irrational, very impatient, and very rude with her family. She is more close to her friends than her family, and her boyfriend breaks her heart, and she kind of goes back to her hometown and takes a sabbatical in Goa. Now she plans to visit a psychologist, which is played by Shah Rukh Khan, Dr. Jahangir Khan in the movie. Moving on to my takeaways. Well, Kiara doesn't not know. Kiara is the name of Alia Bhatt, Coco as her nickname. So Kiara does not know how to take a break and say no to her next big project with her boyfriend. She has constantly sleepless night and she's restless and she does not know how to manage this ambitious career in her life and manage this next project. Now, Dr. Jahangir Khan tries to advise her very beautifully, saying that we always feel that the most difficult choices in our life are the right ones. This does not hold true. There are times in life when we can take the easier choice, considering our priorities in life. This thought actually challenged my thinking pattern because I used to think that the most difficult choices are the right ones, isn't it? We all think this way, that the most difficult choice would be the right ones in our life. I totally disagree to this. And considering our priorities, this is perfectly okay to take the easier choices at times. The movie also talks about how our relationship with our family affects our life totally. Dr. Jahangir Khan tries to observe Kiara, that how she behaves with her mother, father, and siblings. Well, Kiara had a very difficult childhood and her trust was broken by none other than her mother. And constantly she faces challenges to trust her boyfriends in her life. She feels that her boyfriend would ditch her, and that's why she moves out of the relationship much before her boyfriend would ditch her trust. This pattern keeps on repeating in her life. Dr. Jahangir Khan tries to help her with that and tells her to speak to her mother and understand her as a person, that how this is how her life was at that point in time and what kind of decisions she took. She tries to understand, and that comes with an amicable platform in her life with her mother. One of the very beautiful example in the movie is Kiara had a bad dream. She feels that since she has a lot of boyfriends, her family and friends judge her constantly, and she does not fall into the criteria of an ideal girl. And that is when she discussed this dream with Dr. Jahangir Khan. Dr. Jahangir Khan tells her that it is perfectly okay, smart to date a few men. He says that, have you bought a chair? How many chairs did you try before buying the right one? So similarly, he says that when we buy a chair, we try so many. It is perfectly smart, intelligent, and modern to date few men before looking for the one you want to get married or committed. So Kiara is totally peace with it. And I would advise all the Toastmasters and guests, make sure you do date few men or girlfriends, before getting married or committed. It's perfectly smart, model, and intelligent. Moving on to my next takeaway, where Kiara starts falling for Dr. Jahangir Singh and she feels that he is the perfect soul partner for her. She kind of speak to him and says that what is the definition of a soul partner? Dr. Jahangir Khan tries to explain that why we have to burden our partner or specifically one person with so many qualities or so many characteristics. There can be different people for different qualities. So for example, if you want to go for a movie, there can be a movie friend or a coffee or a book friend. I really like that thought. Isn't that we all feel that, we our partner has to be the perfect one and has to be a soul partner? Well, this movie challenged my thinking pattern and thought that I need to have more friends rather than one partner. Yeah. So moving to the critics part of the critic side of it, the Dr. Jahangir Khan is very good with a therapy which holds very untrue in the real life. He's wise, he's perfect in every sense. I'm looking forward to find someone like that. If you find one for me, please let me know. The movie also talks about a very optimistic view that every broken thing can be fixed. I really doubt that holds true in real life. The movie also talks about that we need to we need to be very perfect in our relationships, and we need to be very peace with our parents, family, and siblings. I really doubt that. And watch out for your relationship with your siblings and parents. If you have any difficult patterns with it, you might be facing in your whole life. With that, I believe that I really had a good time watching this movie. All of you, if you're looking for some soul searching, and if you haven't watched this movie, please watch it and let me know your reviews on it. Thank you very much. Over
Thank
to
you,
you,
Toastmaster
Toastmaster.
Meenakshi. This is actually my favorite movie, and I too am searching for my jug, and I don't know where he is. Anyways, moving on to the next speaker is Toastmaster Abdul, who is being evaluated by. I'm so sorry.
Abhishek Nishad.
Sorry, Toastmaster Abhishek. I would like Toastmaster Abhishek to read out his objectives.
Yeah, Parul, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can we have 30 seconds of feedback for the speaker?
Yeah, so sorry. 30 seconds feedback for Meenakshi. Please give your feedback to Meenakshi on personal chat so that she can better her speech, and also mention her commendations so that she's encouraged. Okay. Moving on, Toastmaster Abhishek, can you please read out the objectives for Toastmaster Abdul's speech?
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Parul. Toastmaster Abdul is delivering his second speech from level 1, project 2. The purpose of his speech is for the member to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. I wish the speaker all the very best for his speech. Over to you, Parul.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. Now, when I asked Toastmaster Abdul what his hobbies are, he said his hobbies are traveling and trying out new languages. And something that he wants to pick up again that he left is traveling. And something that he's working on or trying to read or get to know more about is psychology. And interestingly, his speech seems to be about psychology today. So let's welcome Toastmaster Abdul. Toastmaster Abdul, human psychology, Toastmaster Abdul.
Parul, you're
Toastmaster Abdul, try to share the screen.
One second. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now. Yeah.
Okay, just a second.
Abdul, can you come on camera? Bandwidth allows you.
Is my screen visible to all?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we are what we are because what we have been, and what we have been is what is needed to solve the problem of human life. And motive is not moral estimate, but more knowledge is. So, with that being said, good evening to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I will give the speech on the topic human psychology. So, the simple definition of human psychology is the study of human mind and human behavior. Initially, psychology was based on two theories. The first one is structuralism, and the second one is functionalism. Structuralism was the first philosophy in which focused on breaking down the mental process into the most basic components. Researchers try to understand the basic element of consciousness using a method that is known as introspection. Introspection is a process that involves looking inward to examine one's own thought and emotions. Whereas, according to the functional psychology, mental states are identified by what they do rather than what they are made of. For example, imagine in a high school of chemistry class, the teacher asks the students, what is the best way to define water? One of the students says the best way to define water is to break it into the basic components. He defines it as the combination of two hydrogens, that is oxygen and hydrogen. One of his classmates disagrees with him and says that the best way to define water is to look at its purpose, and he describes that it is a liquid without taste or color that serve as the main component of lake, river, ocean, streams, and as well as the fluid in most living organisms, including human beings. So the first student's definition is closely aligned with the structural psychology, while the second one's definition demonstrates the principle of psychology. And there are several branches of the psychology, such as behavioral psychology, clinical, cognitive, counseling, developmental, educational, and many more. But I will elaborate on four psychology branches because I think these four are something that everyone should have some idea. So let me start with the first one. The first one is cognitive psychology. It is concerned with the mental process, study of mind, and how people obtain, process, and store the information in the brain. Many researchers many researchers has done an experiment to understand how memory and perception and learning disabilities and other cognitive issues, and many cognitive psychologists work mainly in researching and studying the brain, and also some psychologists of this major provide therapy to the patient, those who suffer from well-known disease known as dementia. A prospect theory developed by famous psychology William James attempts to explain how an individual decide between two alternatives in which there is a risk involved. So in the conclusion, he concluded that the person would always make a rational decision, and the people are more likely to choose a potential outcome with the conviction which over with one who has the risk. The second one is counseling psychology. It is a general health service provided by the professional psychology who focus on people who on people how they function on personal level and in the relationship at all the ages. Counseling psychology addresses the emotional, social, physical health issues. The counselor assists the patient and then advise them with a personal plan to improve their overall health. This, and don't get confused between the clinical psychology and the counseling one. A clinical psychologist is the one who diagnose and treat the patient with the mental disorder. And the third one is developmental psychology. It is a scientific study of how and why human beings human being changed over the course of their life, which helps to understand how people mature over the course of their life, both emotionally and physically, by studying human development from the birth until their old age. It would have mental yeah, it would have the mental psychologists look at the biological growth of the body, cognitive expansion, and emotional maturity and other areas while working with the patient. Developmental psychologists assess and diagnose with various issues such as developmental issues in children. They generally focus on how and why individuals' cognitive and social intellectual abilities change over the course of their life. There are many theorists who have made a profound contribution to this area, and one of them is James Rick, who developed a module of 8 stages of psychological development, and he believed that human mind develops in human mind develops in human mind develops in stages throughout their life and makes a major change in their behavior. So the fourth one is the educational psychology. It is a branch of psychology which deals with the learning and with the learning and other educational related stuff. And education psychology is a study. Education psychologists study the factor that impacts learning, including methods on how people process and observe the information, by which they have concluded that one of the major effect on how people learn is based on their individual differences. Educational psychologists mostly work as a researcher, and some also work as a counselor who treat the student, those who struggle with a well-known disorder known as ADHD, that is attention defect hyperactive disorder. Children with this order may have trouble in paying attention, controlling impulsive behavior, and many more. So in early 90s, one of the educational psychologists stated that education and learning are the fundamental social and interactive process. He believed that comparing these both uh, in the students' learning activities will enhance their memory and make the concept more clear. So let me share a personal perspective that what I came across by learning about the human psychology, that we can trick our mind by a certain way. And one of the trick that I came across by researching about the human psychology is, if you want to forget, if you want to overcome a certain negative thought, the only thing we have to do, that there is a one trick that we can do while going to we are going to sleep at the night.
7 minutes over.
Okay, let me conclude give me 30 seconds, I will conclude. So at the conclusion, many researchers could have concluded that human psychology is complex and sometimes unpredictable, because environment is one of the major factor is the development of human behavior. This is what makes the study of human mind complex, and this forces the researchers to have a thorough observation in the deep study interaction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul, for a very informative speech. Now I would request everyone to take 30 seconds to give Toastmaster Abdul his feedback. One thing I want to mention about Toastmaster Abdul is that he's our 11th hour savior. He became a guest speaker today and took up the slot. So thanks for that. Thanks for being a part of our meeting. Timer, can you please show me a red card after 30 seconds? In the meanwhile, I have a question for you. After giving the feedback, you can mention what your current hobbies are in the chat. But after giving feedback, do not skip the feedback. Okay, our feedback time is over. Moving on to the last speaker of the day, which is Toastmaster Amit. Before I call Toastmaster Amit on the stage, I would like to call Toastmaster Param as his evaluator, who's also our dashing, shining star president of the SDTM. So over to you, Toastmaster Param.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Parul, for those good executives. So our enthusiastic Amit will be going to share a speech on presentation mastery path, level 2, project 1. His speech title is Leaders Are Communicators, Understanding your leadership, understanding your communication style is the project title. The objective of this speech is the purpose for this project is for the members to learn about different communication style and identify his or her primary style. The purpose of this speech is for members to share the impact of his or her style on others. So I wish all the very best to Toastmaster Amit, and you have time from 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster Parul.
Thank you, Toastmaster Param, for reading out the objectives. When I asked Toastmaster Amit what his hobbies are, he gave me a detailed list. So I'm going to just pick out 2-3. He said reading, traveling, and cooking. And reading book summaries on YouTube are his hobbies. And something that he left along the way was listening to music, which he would like to pick up. And I think this is on the bucket list of a lot of people. I realize that he also wants to learn playing a music instrument, which is the keyboard. And again, as I said for Toastmaster Meenakshi, I'm already a fan because I love people who play musical instruments. So with this, I would like to call Toastmaster Amit on the stage. Leaders are communicators. Leaders are communicators. Toastmaster Amit. Over to you.
भाइयों और बहनों, जो हमने कहा कर दिखाया. My dear brothers and sisters, whatever we said, we did it. An ordinary man became Prime Minister of India, mostly due to his oratory style. No introduction is needed. His oratory style has made the world his friend. Leaders are communicators. Being a good communicator, one should know his or her communication style. A very good evening to aspiring communicators. When I was in 10th standard, I wanted to be a pilot. Then I enrolled commerce stream, and someone said something that I attracted towards chartered accountant. When I reached to the BCom final year, I wanted to be a lecturer. And now I became an accountant. Do you think that this happened with most of us? Communication shapes our actions, decisions. Our communication style shapes our whole life. I strongly believe that knowing your communication style is indispensable. In 2006, I just completed my post-graduation. Me and my 4 friends were sitting in our tea stall. One of my friends, Ajay, who just completed his mechanical engineering, asked us that, do you guys suggest me what career should I choose? First friend, Ajay, suggested, there is no point of discussion. You have already chosen your career 4 years back when you joined this course. So now go ahead in the automobile industry and enjoy this ever-changing industry. Second friend, Jay, suggested, be creative, be initiative, try with the civil services or try to set your business. You can go for the sales job if you want to make big and quick money. I suggested, never overthink about career. Go for the government job if you want to live your life peacefully. And whatever you are getting, go ahead with that and enjoy that. We are learning to live life happily. Fourth friend, Anil, still silent. Always backbencher in replying. When we asked, he said, let me think, I will tell you tomorrow or later. And he didn't come with his reply until we asked again. And when we asked, he said, do whatever you want to do. Do what you love to do. Choose a field where after working for 24 hours, you don't feel tired. You can be an author, artist, or administrator, or even you can go ahead with your engineering profession. There is a lot of wealth in everywhere. You just have love to your job, love to your profession. I have a question to you guys. What you suggest? For same situation, different people come with the different opinions. It's our communication style that shapes our actions, decisions, suggestions, opinions. Like first friend away who suggested go the career that you have chosen. That is a decisive, independent, and competitive suggestions. This is a direct style of communication where people are mainly concerned with the results instead of relationship. These type of people are motivated with the achievement. Second friend, Jay, who suggested do something creative. His suggestions were fun-loving, spontaneous, enthusiastic, energetic. This is an initiative style of communication. This type of people always try to maintain the balance between relation and results. Me, I suggested do whatever you get. This is a calm, compassionate, steady, and approachable suggestion. This is a sportive type of communication style, and this type of people is mainly concerned with the relationship instead of results. These type of people are indecisive and not ready for changes. Fourth friend, Anil, who suggested do what you love to do. His suggestions were precise, logical, and analytical. This is an analytical style of communication where this type of people are passionate listener and diplomatic. Still in his personal life, he is very private with his emotional and do not give any opinion until asked. What is your style of communication? After learning all these style of communication, I realized that I have sportive type of communication style. My dear communicators, each communication style has pros and cons. No single style of communication fits in every situation. Our communication style more or less become our character, and that is not easy to change. But once we know different style of communication, we can try to associate a right style of communication at the right situation. Someone rightly said, a problem well stated, half solved. There is a one key to achieve, to learn all skills and to change your communication skills, and that key is practice. Why it is important to know about your communication style? It is very important to know about your communication style, because once you know different type of communication style, you can try to associate right communication style at the right situation. Suppose you are a team leader and you have to share your goals with the team. You should adopt the direct style of communication. But in the same time, one team member did a blunder. At that time, you should adopt this sportive communication style so that he or she do not be motivated. And we can do that once we know our communication style, different type of communication style, and know which is the right communication style at the right situation. And there are not only this type of communication style, there are many more communication styles. Objective is that so that you go ahead and know about your communication style. Because leaders are communicators, and communicators know their communication style. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit, for a wonderful take on communication styles. I would request everyone to take 30 seconds to give Toastmaster Amit a feedback. Also, after giving the feedback, I got only 2 people who replied to my question of what their hobbies are. So after providing feedback, please let everyone know what your hobbies are, or what you're planning to learn new, what is on your bucket list.
Can I also launch the
Let's
poll?
share ideas. Sorry.
Can I also
And can
launch
we have the voting also if everyone's qualified, Toastmaster Sonika?
Yes, everyone is qualified.
Can we launch the poll, please? Please vote. How many votes do we have?
10 more votes required.
I request everyone to please vote for the speakers.
I will close the polling in another 10 seconds.
Okay. With this, we come to an end to the prepared speech section. Now let's begin with the evaluation section as I hand over the stage to the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Amir.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Welcome everyone once again. We are now entering the evaluation segment, which is the breakfast of the champions. We will first have the evaluators from the speech evaluation segment in the same order in which the speeches were given. So I would first of all like to invite Toastmaster Udit, who was evaluating Toastmaster Meenakshi, to share his evaluation report with us.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amir. First of all, I would like to congratulate the speaker. The moment she picked up the topic, Dear Zindagi, I thought she was going to be talking about her own life. So I really like the topic. That is the title of the speech. It was really nice and pleasant. What I want to give about in terms of the commendations today, I feel that she has a good command over the language. She speaks fluently. Her accent of the English language is very good, and it really sounds nice when she speaks. Apart from that, I feel she is overall a very good speaker. I could not today find much ahs and ums. So I was told by her that she got an kind of a feedback that she got some ahs and ums that she says a lot during her speeches. But happily today we could not really find much ahs and ums apart from the natural ones that we always have. So that was really good. Now I'm going to talk about some of the recommendations which will help you to improve your speeches a little further. Now, what I noticed was that you were moving a lot from left to right to left. You were constantly moving. So it shows that you were a bit nervous, and that gives a kind of an expression to the audience that you're not very sure of what you're saying. So what I would suggest to you is just stand there and then deliver your speech. Take your time, enjoy, take a breath, and then speak. There is no hurry. You don't have to rush a train, and you don't have to basically go in for a train ride. So you can take your time and then speak. I would also recommend you to take more pauses, because taking the right set of pauses and using the right set of stresses in your speech gives you a kind of an intonation in your speech which also makes your speech much more impactful. I would also have suggested that while you were talking about this film, and I was able to relate to this film because I've also watched this film, what you could have done is that you could have taken up a few dialogues, maybe from Alia's side or maybe from Shah Rukh Khan's side, and you could have just said those dialogues and shared those dialogues with us. So in a nutshell, it was a light-hearted, fun topic. I really liked it. And you have a very nice, pleasant voice, but use more intonations in your speech. And my takeaway today was that you should try different shares before you finally choose your life partner. And my second takeaway is that we should have more friends in life rather than having a dependence on one single partner. Thank you so much, and back to the general evaluator of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Udit. We will now move on to the next speech evaluator, which is Toastmaster Abhishek, to present his report to us.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amir. So today the Toastmaster Abdul gave such a wonderful speech. The topic was well researched. It was quite a complex one, but the speaker simplified it and presented in such a way that it was easy for audience to consume it. So that was the best part about the speech today. I have few I'll start with commendations. See, topic was well researched and filled with lots of data, and this adds a lot of value to the speech. My second commendation is speaker used presentation which helped us a lot to understand the topic, the terms like cognitive counseling, like they were all broken into parts so we could understand easily. My third commendation is speaker was quite confident in his speech. Voice was quite crisp, loud and clear. Now coming to recommendation part, as we say, there's always a room for improvement. The one thing which I felt is we could not see the face of speaker. So somehow I was feeling so disconnected I couldn't connect with the speaker. So I'll recommend the next time, please, like in between, he could have paused the screen and showed us his face like in between. So that would have been better. Second recommendation is there was a lack of pauses and transitions. Last time speaker was given to work upon transition at the transition and voice modulation, so and energy. The energy was perfect. Voice modulation and the pauses, it was missing, so he can work upon that part. And yeah, so I'll summarize by again saying speaker could have 2 3 points that speaker could have showed his face that he can work upon. Yep, that's all from my side. Speaker did a great job. Thank you, Toastmaster Amir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. I would now like to invite Toastmaster Param, who is evaluating Toastmaster Amit, to present his report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amir. मित्रों, सुन रहे हो ना मुझे? Friends, are you listening to me? Whenever this speaker comes on the stage, he always makes sure his impactful starting is always there. Let me start something which he has done before the speech. That is grooming. Whenever he comes for delivering a speech, he always makes sure he's groomed properly. If you can see his hairstyle today, he's looking like a young gentleman who's just about to get married. So kudos to that. Also, I have always seen Toastmaster Amit that he makes sure that the objectives are always met whenever he's delivering a speech. So congratulations on that. You have said very clearly that communication set action, and you were showing that through your speeches. You have justified the title leaders are communicators, and in the starting of the speech you have given an example also from your life. You have also shared some of the incidents. One thing I like about the speaker is that he always says with conviction. When a speaker says with conviction, it always made sure that the speaker believe in the idea, in the message which the speaker wants to tell to others. Now, to make sure that he take the speech to the next level, where the speaker needs to focus on is somewhere in the pronunciation part, where he can practice more on pronunciation. Also, I would like the speaker, whenever he's delivering a speech while standing and on a phone, use a mic, because when you are away, a lot of words are getting missed in your speech. Those were very impactful words. When you are putting energy to make sure that your voice modulation is happening in the right manner, it will be only judged in that online forum when your words are clearly heard by the audience. The speech was quite informative and you have shared a lot of examples. So I would request speaker to make sure that there is some PPT or there is some pre-speech text is there with the audience, because a lot of information is there for the audience. Make sure you have 2 or 3 styles. You have more than that, that can be overwhelming for the audience. And rest, the speaker have always made sure that communication style is clear, his message was clear, and yes, problem well stated is half resolved. And my key takeaway from his speech is keep changing your leadership, keep changing your communication style as per the situation. So all the very best for your further speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Amir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Param. All right, with this, we come to the end of this speech evaluation segment. I would request everybody to take 30 seconds to vote for the best speech evaluator if everyone is qualified. And Toastmaster Sonika will confirm to us if everyone is qualified or not.
Everyone is qualified.
All right, perfect. Then we can have the poll for the 3 speech evaluators.
Sonika, can you repeat who are disqualified?
Everyone is qualified.
Okay.
I mean, do let me know when all the polls have come in so that we can.
5 more votes are required. I request 5 lucky people to please go ahead and vote.
There is a lucky draw that happens for people who vote.
Every meeting we credit amount for the last lucky winners who vote. Toastmaster Devin takes the responsibility of that. He's the richest treasurer we have.
And also for switching on videos, actually.
I mean, I'm closing the polling now.
All right, perfect. Then we can proceed with the speech with the auxiliary role players now. We will start with the grammarian. So I would request Toastmaster Saurabh to please present his report.
Okay. Is I'm audible? Back now. Hello. Hello.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. First of all, the word of the day is being used only once by the AHA counter Diksha, and idiom of the day is not being used. Then we have the grammatical mistakes. Someone said that it's several branch. It should be several branches. And someone said for same situation, it should be for the same situation. And there are good words is being used like impatient, having or showing a tendency to be quickly irritated or provoked. Ambitious, having or showing the strong desire and determination to succeed. Introspection, the examination of our own behavior or the mental and emotional process. Indispensable, which is absolutely necessary. And that's all what I was able to capture today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. We would now move on to the next auxiliary role player, which is Toastmaster Diksha, who was playing the role of our counter. I would request her to present her report to us.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I think I got your name mixed up earlier. I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to be submitting my report now. I'll start with the speakers first. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Meenakshi. First of all, let me tell you that in case you've used a word more than 5 times, I'm just going to tell you that the word has been used more than 5 times instead of giving you a number. You can ask me for the number separately if you want. So Toastmaster Meenakshi used the word 3 times, as more than 5 times, and kind of, which was a different filler word or filler phrase, she used it twice. Then we come to speaker number 2, Toastmaster Abdul. He used the word so twice, and us were more than 5 times. Then we come to speaker number 3, Toastmaster Amit. I think his was the most clear speech. I couldn't find any ers or ums. And then we come to the evaluators. Evaluator number 1 was Toastmaster Udit. Used the word the word more than 5 times. Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Abhishek, used as more than 5 times, twice, and ands twice. Then evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Param, used the word so thrice and the word more than 5 times. Coming to the TMOD, Toastmaster Parul, she used the word more than 5 times, thrice, as more than 5 times, and there was one long pause. Sorry. Then we can probably move on to the other players as well. The GE used the word as 3 times. The grammarian used the word as more than 5 times, 2 long pauses, and 2 so's. That is all for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diksha. We will now move on to the final auxiliary role player, which is the timer. Toastmaster Sonika, if you can please come and present your report.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. So let me share the screen, please. So Toastmaster, so I would like to start with the speakers. Toastmaster Meenakshi Malhotra spoke for 5 minutes 44 seconds. Toastmaster Abdul spoke for 7 minutes 30 seconds. He was on time. And Toastmaster Amit took 7 minutes 15 seconds. Then coming to the speech evaluators, Toastmaster Udit took 2 minutes 37 seconds, and Toastmaster Abhishek took 2 minutes 23 seconds. Toastmaster Paramjot took 2 minutes 53 seconds. Then coming to the timers, then coming to the aux role players for introduction. I could not note my introduction part. Apologies for that. Toastmaster Diksha, the R counter, took 1 minute 14 seconds in her intro, and Toastmaster Saurabh took 2 minutes 57 seconds in his intro. And in report section, Toastmaster Diksha took 2 minutes, and Toastmaster Saurabh took 1 minute 30 seconds. And coming to other role players, Toastmaster Mohan spoke for 1 minute 35 seconds. Toastmaster Paramjot spoke for 5 minutes 17 seconds, and Toastmaster Parul spoke for 4 minutes 22 seconds. So this is all about my report, and I'm glad that all the speakers sticked on time. So thank you so much. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonika. We will now take 30 seconds to vote for the best auxiliary role players. If you can confirm that everyone is qualified.
Yes, everyone is qualified.
All right, then please put up the polls. All right.
Ten more votes. I request everybody to please vote for the best auxiliary role players. I close the polling in another 10 seconds. I request you to please vote. Thank you so much. Aman, you can continue.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate the time that you have taken out in coming to this meeting and doing all of your roles and speeches so diligently. I've taken the notes of the entire meeting, and I will present this report in the same order in which the meeting went. So, starting with our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Mohan, I really appreciate your efforts of standing up. I would also personally like to do it, but then I restrict myself because I find it difficult to match the height of my camera if I'm standing up, which happened in your case also. So I would suggest that if you're standing up, then you can also try to enable your phone or your camera to match the height of your side. Otherwise, you tend to look down and it kind of sort of becomes distracting in that case. And then came the president, Toastmaster Param. There was a lot of positivity with which he came, the stories that he shared, the smiling face, all added up to a lot of positivity. It was a good start and set the tone of the entire meeting. I think I felt that some guests were left out in the introduction. I saw in the people's list and there were some names I could not recognize. So I feel that some guests were left out, which the president can take care of in the future. We then move on to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Parul. I really liked the topic personally. There was so much simplicity in the topic and the connection that it gave to me, which made me feel really, really good about it. The audience engagement was also strategically and evenly placed. So she started with the question and then she asked something in between. And I can see even now people are responding to her question. So the audience engagement was not restricted to one place. She made sure that she was connected to the audience throughout the meeting, and at least in the parts where her engagement was there. So excellent job. She also took most of the time that was allocated to her, which shows that she has a hunger for a stage, and it's a good thing. There were lovely introductions of the speakers. I mean, we can all learn from Toastmaster Parul how to make people feel special when we are calling them on stage. It's a great thing. She also used the right format in calling the speakers, speaker title, title speaker. Just a couple of things. One is be a little cautious of all the small things that we have to do as the TMOD, like asking for feedback, after the speech or for voting, things like that. And also, just to take your TMOD skills to the next level, when you are doing it the next time, I would, love to see how you would make everyone rally around the theme by doing something throughout the week and not just in the meeting itself, the week before the meeting as well. So it will be fun to see what will happen in that case. I will now move on directly to the speech evaluators. First was Toastmaster Udit. I liked how the tone of Toastmaster Udit was very, very positive throughout. In fact, the starting was very positive. The structure of the speech was the evaluation report was very clear. He made it clear that these are the commendations, and then he also mentioned that these are the recommendations, things like that. And he also gave reference to the last speech, which was very important in this case of the speaker's project. He also gave not one, just two takeaways. And he made it clear that he's giving takeaways by saying that in a nutshell. There's one recommendation that I would like to share with Toastmaster Udit. During the recommendations, he told the speaker that you are moving left to right. He gave some recommendations about the movement, and he said that which distracts the audience. What I would recommend him is that you can try to avoid statements that represent you as the audience and use I statements. You can say that I was distracted. 70% or 60% or even 1% of the audience if disagrees with you in thinking that the speaker was not moving, then it kind of contradicts. So try to avoid speaking on behalf of the audience and use I statements rather. The next was Toastmaster Abhishek. When he started, it was really nice, and I really liked his analysis. It was very good, deep analysis. He also referred the last speech's feedback. The one thing was that he had placed the best part of the speech in the beginning of his report. We usually keep the best part of the speech towards the end to give a motivating tone to the speech, to the evaluation report. And I think this was also one of the reasons why he moved to summary directly from recommendations and not follow CRC approach. So you can keep the best part in the last. That also takes care of your CRC. That is something that you can take care of. Toastmaster Param did something very unique. He started the evaluation report in the same manner in which the speaker had started the speech. It was really fun to see. One other good thing that Toastmaster Param did was that he clearly referred to the objectives, mentioning clearly that the speaker fulfilled the objectives. I think it's a very good point. It should either be kept in recommendations or commendations, but it should definitely be kept in doing speech evaluations in the meeting. Toastmaster Param mentioned recommendation about pronunciation, but he did not give any example. So I would suggest him that whenever next time he's giving such pointed recommendations, he can use some examples also. I think he missed the summary also. I don't recall him giving a summary of the speech. Maybe I missed, but I don't recall. Next, we can move to auxiliary role players. The first one was Toastmaster Grammarian. Sorry, Toastmaster Saurabh, who was playing the role of the grammarian today. I would first of all like to congratulate him for starting his Toastmaster journey as a role player. I think he was debuting in this role. So many, many congratulations, Toastmaster Saurabh, and I wish and hope to see you doing this again and again. You did a very comprehensive report when you presented it towards the end. Only in the introduction part, you took a lot of time, which you can restrict. The introduction needs to be about 1 minute, in total. So you can craft your introduction accordingly. And you can also try to speak a bit louder. I was not able to hear you clearly. So maybe you can try to speak a bit louder. Next was Toastmaster Diksha. First of all, I really liked how she made the demarcation of more than 5 times. It was very innovative of not going too much into the numbers. I also really liked that she used the phrase "I couldn't find any filler words" for, I think, Toastmaster Amit, rather than using adjectives like he was flawless or he was perfect. It was a very good thing to do, and I really appreciate it. Finally, the timer, Toastmaster Sonika, excellent way of showing report. I think this is the first time when we got to see, at least I got to see what everyone's time was on the screen. And towards the end, she zoomed the screen also. I mean, there were those functionalities as well. So I think it was very innovative for everyone to see, and there was a lot of transparency around it. This is all from my side. Like I mentioned earlier, I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting. Thank you everyone for performing your roles and duties to the perfection. And all the best for your future roles. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amir, for your comprehensive report. Now, I would like to end the meeting with one concluding thought, that even though we see that a lot of people have a lot of hobbies, and with this age of social media, we see a lot of people creating their own blogs, their own pages. Somebody has a poetry page, somebody's clicking photographs and uploading their photos on a page, somebody's cooking and showing their creation. But in all of that, kudos to all of those people who can showcase their skill, or they want to bring out their talent to the world. But even if your hobby is not that phenomenal, or you haven't reached that skill level where you can display it to anyone, or if you don't want to show it to anyone, still your hobby counts as a hobby. It does not mean that you do not have a hobby, or if, let's say, I dance and I don't show it to anyone, that does not disqualify it as a hobby. It's still my hobby. So I want you all to remember that your hobby is for you and for yourself, and not for a blog or for anybody else to understand it. Do anything, but let it produce joy. With this, I hand over the stage back to the presiding officer. Sorry, the president, Toastmaster Parul.
No problem. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Parul, for that amazing theme, and everybody throughout the meeting was really engaged with all your hobbies and all your questions regarding the same. Now, I would like to call Toastmaster Ahmed for a 2-minute announcement for you all, and it's a very important announcement. Listen very carefully to Toastmaster Ahmed. Toastmaster Ahmed, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Param. I just wanted to take 2 minutes to talk about the mentorship program of Toastmasters. We have done a lot of experiments in the past. A lot of drives have been taken to take care of mentorship in Toastmasters. Toastmasters is usually recognized with 2 things: communication and leadership. This is what people know it for. Pathways is also a very focused program of mentorship is also a very focused program of Toastmasters that they take care of, that they focus on very diligently, and they put a lot of focus on it. And just like communication and leadership, mentorship program of Toastmasters also has benefits that go far beyond just the club meeting. So what this the mentorship program of Toastmasters is very comprehensive. It basically helps you in 2 things. One is to build certain skills of how you can be a good mentor. Anybody can be a mentor. And if you already possess those skills, then how you can reinforce those skills that are needed to provide a positive mentoring experience to members in your club or outside. So there are various projects that are involved. I believe Toastmaster Param is already working on a program of mentorship that he will roll out very soon in the club. You can find out mentors not just in your club but outside of the club as well, in the whole Toastmasters community. The official program of Toastmasters mentorship is very comprehensive, and it basically starts with you getting in touch with your vice president education and you honestly evaluating yourself, how good you are as a mentor at this stage, and how do you keep track of what you're doing as a mentor, and how you can keep track of your protege as well. So it basically acts as a guide for you, to make sure that you are all following all the right steps. Just like you have projects in any level or any path, there are a lot of projects, and there are projects in the pathways in the mentorship program of Toastmasters as well. So once you enroll in it, you will learn the art of being a mentor and not just being a protege. So I would really request everyone and motivate everyone that when this program of mentorship rolls out, please do enroll in it. We have all been working on communication and leadership, but it is extremely important that we enroll in the mentorship program because it is going to help all of us a lot as a mentor as well as a protege. Thank you, and back to the presiding officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed, for that brief introduction about mentorship program. Dear all members, I request you to, I will keep you posted with the plan which we are working on, and we'll let you know how you can go about it. Now, I would like to call one veteran member of a Toastmaster. He really needs no introduction in the world of Toastmaster. He's been a training and personality development person from last 2 decades. He has also represented District 41 in 2018 in World Public Speaking Championship. And today he's very kind enough to share his precise time with us on help us write, how to write an effective speech. And whenever you will meet this person, you will always feel happy and feel knowledgeable, and always he'll make sure that he'll make you eat something very good. He's quite foodie in nature and an amazing Toastmaster. He's mentor of many mentors. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Rupinder Singh.
Thank you, Param, for introducing me in such a nice fashion. These days, I usually play a trick when I walk into clubs when people ask me for introductions. So at one club, this actually happened. They asked me for my introduction, and I said that I am new to Toastmasters, and I'm trying to improve my public speaking skills. I want to get rid of my stage fright, and they actually fell for it until Rita Harlalka walked in and told them what you just told everyone. So thank you for taking that chance away from me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rupinder, and whatever praises Param has sung of me, just reduce it by half. Whereas I really believe that I have been extremely fortunate to be where I am. And a large part of that is thanks to Toastmasters, because I was supported all along my Toastmasters journey of 5 years by many Toastmasters and many Toastmasters clubs. In fact, South Delhi Toastmasters had a role to play in my distinguished Toastmasters journey, because I think I completed my advanced communicator bronze or my advanced communicator silver here in the space of a week. So thank you very much, South Delhi Toastmasters, and thank you very much for having me back here, for tolerating me for another half an hour. So let's get started. Everyone wants to write a speech. That is why you joined Toastmasters for. So what is the one? My question is, what is the first question you want to ask when somebody says that, okay, you have to write a speech? What is the first question you ask yourself? Can anybody type it in the chat box?
Yes, Sukanda, can I say it loud?
Sure.
So there are two things primarily. I check for the objective of the speech. What are my speech objectives? And secondly, what is that particular topic that I am passionate about?
Okay. Okay. My answer to that, and thank you, Parul, for sharing it. Thank you, Rajiv, for sharing it. My answer to that is another question, which I'm going to copy paste here. What is your why? Why are you writing that speech? What is it that you want the audience to do once they have listened to your speech? You see, a lot of us think of many, and Ritika has jumped ahead already, but a lot of us think of that I'm going to write a speech on aviation. Somebody says that I'm going to write a speech about feminism. Another person says that I'm going to write a speech on presentation skills. Somebody says that I'm going to write 3 best techniques to deal with table topics, or 3 best techniques to get along with your wife. Okay, that falls in the realm of tall tales. Okay, do not go there. But the point is, what is your why? What do you want the audience to do? Two very important and yet the most ignored questions when it comes to writing a speech. Because what happens is that we listen to somebody speak, we are reminded of a topic. We go to a meeting, there is a table topic session going on, and Amir gets a topic which is, why am I a foodie? And I'm sitting there in the audience. I go, why was I not given this topic? And then Amir gets up on stage and says that I am a foodie, and I start laughing at him. You a foodie? I mean, you're giving me a complex if you are a foodie. No offense, Amir. But the point is that every time when you are in a table topic session, that is a wonderful source for your topics. Because many times you will get this feeling, I wish I had got this topic, I would have absolutely nailed it. Well, you were imagining yourself giving a 1 to 2 minute speech. What stops you from writing a 5 to 7 minute speech? Why can't you write a 5 to 7 minute speech on the same topic that you are so passionate about? Why not? Okay, so that is your first question. What is your why? Why are you writing the speech? And this is where the general purpose of the speech and the specific purpose of the speech comes in. A lot of people have given the correct answer. The specific purpose is the message of your speech. What is the message of your speech? And what is the generic purpose of your speech? The generic purposes can be, speeches can either entertain, or they can inspire, or they can inform, or it can be a combination of all these. There can be a speech that inspires, informs, and entertains. And usually championship winning speeches inspire, inform, and entertain. The more important thing is the specific purpose, the message that you are trying to convey. The message, what is the message that your speech is trying to send? This is where 90% of speeches fail. This is where people find it difficult to deal with table topics. Why do they find it difficult to deal with table topics? Because in table topics, the message is already given to you. All you have to do is construct a beginning, body, and a conclusion around it. But we are so habitual of straying away from the message. We don't get it right in an impromptu speech. When the message is given to us, there is no way that we can get it right in a prepared speech until and unless we are mindful of the message that we are trying to convey. So find your why. Why is it that you're writing your speech? And to answer that, there are two questions. What is it that your speech is going to do? Is it going to entertain? Is it going to inform? Is it going to inspire? Or is it going to be a combination of this? And more importantly, what is the one message? Now, when I was discussing this message thing, I asked Mohammad Katani in IIT, and that day I had won my division level contest. I had qualified for the district, and that was 2018. So I asked Mohammad, I said, how can I write a championship winning speech? You know what was the answer I got? He said that assume you've given a speech, you step off the stage and you die. Okay, you die, you're dead. What do you want the audience to remember you for? The fact that you died, or the message from your speech? That is how important your message is. That even if you're not around, your message still carries. People will remember, should remember the speech for the one message that you were sharing. No, I'm taking a lot of time on the message, but that is the importance of the message. I often say that when the why is clear, the how will appear. The how is already there. All you have to do is ensconce your message inside a proper beginning, body, and conclusion. That is already there. You've done that before. You've learned from Aristotle that tell them what you're going to tell them. You tell them, and finally you tell them what you've told them. All those things are there. But all of these, the beginning, the body, the conclusion, they need to resonate with the message. Now, For those of you who were unfortunate enough to listen to my championship speech, which was why me, you will see that the phrase why me keeps on occurring time and again, time and again, time and again. For those of you who were fortunate enough to see Dhananjay Hetrachi's speech, I see something in you. The one phrase that you walk away from that was, I see something in you. Then there is one of the best speeches, my favorite world champion, there is Mohammad Katani. His speech did not have a particular phrase per se. Even words have power is mentioned only a finite number of times. It is not emphasized enough. But he brings that through some real life experiences. That message is there. That message stays with you throughout, even though it was said only twice or thrice in a speech. So be very particular about what is your message. Now, I'll ask you another question. Let's say that you have you have a generic idea of what you're going to write about. Obviously, your speech will have a beginning, a body, and a conclusion. Your beginning and body together will take up about 30 to 40% of your speech content. 60 to 70% of your speech content is going to be in the body, and in the body you're going to write examples, you're going to write experiences. So let's say that you in a 5 to 7 minute speech, how many examples of or experiences do you think you should have? My sense is minimum 3, maximum 5. 5 if they're very short examples, very short experiences, very short stories, and 3 if they are slightly longer ones. Now, my question is, you have 10 experiences to share, and you've got a beginning and a conclusion. What do you write? Do you write all 10 experiences? Do you choose 3 out of those 10 experiences or 5 out of those 10 experiences? So do you choose or do you write everything? Answer in the chat box, please. Aditya says that he will choose. Again, there is no right or wrong answer here. My go-to technique is to write everything. Why I do that is because I find that it is easier to take out content than to add content at the last minute. That is my go-to technique. I first write everything, then I shorten my speech down. So that why me, when I wrote it, was originally a 12-minute, 48 seconds long speech when it was given for the first time. And it ran into something like 1200 words. Obviously, it had a lot of experiences inside it. So then I picked and chose which experiences would be the best. And then I took certain experiences out. Like one of you said, permutations and combinations. I tried various permutations, various combinations. So my go-to strategy is to write everything that comes to my mind. But primarily, I am a writer. I write content. So I have an easier time taking out content and then adjusting the rest of the narrative. For some of you, it might be difficult. So for you, the advice would be to choose either 3 to 5 stories in your body and then figure out how to connect the beginning and the conclusion to your 3 stories or your 5 stories. But I have found that it is better to write everything that I know and then pick and choose. Now, you might say that, okay, what if something has 5 steps or something has 4 steps? Like there is a term in learning and development, it's called the Kirkpatrick evaluation model. It has 4 levels. Now, if it has 4 levels, then obviously I'll have to explain all those 4 levels in a 5 to 7 minute speech. Now, those are exceptions. That is where I play around with my content. And that is what brings me. So write everything was something, was what I wanted to convey. That is step number 2. The third one that I want to share with you, it is a fundamental challenge that we all face, is to write for the ears, to write so that people listen. You see, when we were trained to write, we were trained to write for the eyes. Since our school times, we've been asked to write essays, we've been asked to write stories, we've been asked to write letters. We've written it for the eyes. And when we write for the eyes, we tend to have much more detail than when we are writing for the ear. You can test it out yourself. You can write a paragraph on something, 100 to 200 word paragraph. Just type it in with the intent that somebody will read it. Just write it. After that, try reading that paragraph aloud. You will skip over some words. Somewhere that do not is going to become a don't. Somewhere that will not will become won't. Somewhere there would will become dared. And I am just taking it to contractions, but there are many other areas where your speech is not written for the ear. Somewhere you will find that you've written too much detail about something which can easily be said in 2 sentences if you make certain assumptions. So writing for the ear is very important. How do you write for the ear? What I do is I first write, like I said, I write everything. Then I read it aloud. Then after reading it aloud for 4 or 5 times, where I have sufficiently internalized the speech, I try to say it without looking at the screen, without looking at what I have written. It is not to check how much I remember. It is to check what I remember. Because what I remember will have a tendency to be repeated in a speech than what I should have written. So even in my speech, why me, by the way, even in that speech, I had this challenge. So there was an instance of where I compare my life with my brothers. Originally, there were 5 comparisons. And then I decided that 5 comparisons were too many. I'll stick to 3. I had difficulty picking out the 3. And even there, I found that what I had written was very different from what I was speaking about. Also understand that when you write, you are primarily writing in the active voice, because word processors have this notorious habit of correcting you every time you write in a passive voice. They have that little blue squiggly line screaming at you that do not write in an in a passive voice. But our conversations, they happen in a more natural language which includes passive voice. So write for the ear, do not write for the eye. And that brings me to the next one. The best speeches are not written, they are rewritten. I wrote Why Me 117 times before my district contest. 117 times. Every time I practiced, every time I got a new idea, I tried to incorporate that new idea. And those 117 times also means that I reverted back to an original speech. Now, what I did with Why Me was I did not save versions. So I did not have Why Me version 117. I rewrote over the original template. It's a quirk with me, might not work for you, but I thought that if I had a fallback, then I would the temptation to go to that fallback would be greater. Instead, in the same file, I chose to rewrite, and I disabled versioning for that file so that I would not have a previous version to fall back upon. I know that the risk that I was carrying was inherent, that if I was to forget, if I forgot, then I would have to write my entire speech all over again. But it turned out to be a boon for me. Whatever way works for you, understand that the best speeches are not written, they are rewritten. Sometimes your audience will change. The speech you give at the club level might not work at a division level. You will have to make some changes to that speech. The speech that works in India might not work in Chicago. You will have to make changes. An example was 2017, Manoj Vasudevan. He was giving a speech. He became the WCPS that day, in that year only. But if you notice, he said in his speech that on July 4th, America got its independence. I lost mine because I got married. Now, if this joke was told in India or in the United States, there would have been peals of laughter. Why? Because we Indians identify ourselves with marriages, sustaining marriages very well. And Americans, well, they understand the relation between Independence Day and marriages. But he did not get a response. Why? Because he was giving that speech in Vancouver, which is in Canada. Canadians, they don't care that July 4th is USA's Independence Day. Plus, there is a culture where Vancouver, especially, people tend to keep their marriages. So they would not immediately relate to that. Any other place, it would have been a howler. People would have laughed, but people did not respond. That is why you need to change your speech for the audience. Many times when we, we practice, we try to, okay, what was that weird thing? Sorry. Many times when we are practicing, we think that this joke is going to work. That temptation to insert that joke is immense. But ask yourself practically, who is the audience? In learning and development, we often ask, our first question is not what do we train on or why are we training. Our first question is, who are we training? Who is the audience? Because the way I'll teach Microsoft Word to kids will be very different from the way that I will teach Microsoft Word to adults. So understand the audience. That is something that, last but not the least, are 4 words: attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction. Now, these are 4 words that I'm sharing with you. It's called the ARCS model. It was evolved by Keller in the 1970s. It primarily relates to learning instructions, but it can easily relate to your speech also. Keller proposed that for your learning instruction to be effective, it must first gain attention, then it should establish relevance, then it should build confidence, and finally it should derive satisfaction. If your speech is failing, I can tell you with a reasonable degree of confidence that it is going to fail at one of these parameters. If your audience is getting disinterested in the beginning, your speech is failing to catch attention. If your audience is looking at each other during the body of your speech, it is not being relevant to them. For example, you might be giving a speech about Java to a bunch of chartered accountants, and they will be looking at each other. I say that with due respect to Mayank being in your club, but Mukesh Thakur once told me that could not make any sense out of a speech that was based on C++. Confidence means that you are not being able to come across as an expert, somebody who's been there, done that. And satisfaction means that somewhere your conclusion is having a problem. If I Relate this to opening body conclusion. Attention is your opening, relevance and confidence are your body, and satisfaction is your conclusion. If you want to ever, if you go to a contest and the judges decide that you are not the winner, go back to your speech. Check, did my speech gather attention? Did it establish relevance? Was it relevant to the audience? Was I able to inspire confidence? And did the audience appear satisfied after they listened to my speech? You will know that the audience is satisfied by the audience reaction itself. When you are, when you pause for a second and the audience pauses along with you, when you give them something to laugh about and they laugh, that reaction itself will tell you where you are with your confidence and satisfaction. Now, build this in to writing for the ear. So when you've written your speech, you've given it to a target audience, figure out where is it failing. If it is failing at attention, you need a better opening. If it is failing at relevance, you need a better opening to your body. If it is failing at confidence, you need better examples or experiences. And if it is failing at satisfaction, then you need a better closing. So these were the these are the advices that I had for you. I hope they are helpful. Before I go, two things. Your speech consists of, and this is an oft repeated example, there is ethos, there is logos, there is pathos. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about it. Ethos is integrity, which is you, what you are bringing to the speech. Logos is logic, which is your content, what it brings to the speech. Pathos is passion. And passion is measured in how the audience responds to your speech. And here's the kicker. Successful speeches have more than 60% passion. You don't believe me? Listen to our Prime Minister. Now, whatever your political affiliation, you may like him, you may dislike him, whatever, you cannot deny the fact that the man is a crowd puller. He's a crowd puller because he manages to evoke passion. So focus on pathos. I hope this was helpful to everyone. I'm ready to take questions and answers. And at this stage, I would like to ask the timer, how much time do we have for questions and answers?
So we have 15 minutes in total.
We have
Can
15.
you say clearly?
Can I ask my first question?
We have 15 minutes in total. So
as we have run out, as we are running out of time, so we have 10 minutes as we have to wrap it up at 8:30.
okay, we have got 10 minutes, guys. So anybody who has a question?
Yep, Rupinder, can I ask my question?
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure if I get your name.
Abu.
Yeah, hi Abu. Go ahead.
Yeah, great. Rupinder, this phrase, speak to express and not to impress. Okay, and then the entire thing which is audience based. I'm in a dilemma. What's your take on it?
I strictly believe in speaking to express and not to impress. Even if my speech does not win or anything, I believe in delivering speeches that express and not just impress. I see a lot of people trying to build in unnecessary content or trying to indulge in unnecessary antics just to get the judges on your side. I know it is a very frustrating experience when you see judges rule against you, but let me tell you, it happens to everyone. I may have made it to the world championship in 2018. I crashed out at the area level the following year, and I did not even clear the club level. And I felt that my speech was okay. I felt that it was okay. I should have won. But at the same time, I also understand that judges are also human like us. They will make mistakes. Not all judges will follow the ballot. Some people will take a judgment call. It becomes very subjective. So treat it like some of the bad decisions that umpires would give in cricket. We all love to blame Steve Buckner for giving Sachin Tendulkar out, but what does not take away the fact that he used to get 95% of his decisions right. So eventually it will balance itself out. Eventually you will find an audience, you will find a set of judges who will agree with you. I am a living example of that. I got lucky. So don't lose hope. That's all I would say. Does it answer your question?
Yep, absolutely. I suppose Meenakshi wants to ask a question.
Yes,
Meenakshi,
Meenakshi,
can you
go
please
ahead.
unmute yourself and answer?
Hi, Rupenda.
Hi.
Thanks for your lovely takeaways. I have noted down a few and I would definitely implement that. My question to you is, there are times when you're not very confident of and you feel shy, right? You want to be a speaker, but at the same time, you're not able to get your full expression since you know that people would be judgmental. And of course, there are times when you speak to impress, right? So how you kind of deliver your speech so that it conveys your full expression and people are introvert, right? So I consider myself as an introvert and speaking doesn't come naturally. So how I can quickly overcome this?
Okay, what do you think I am? Am I an introvert or an extrovert?
Well, considering your speeches, you look like an extrovert.
Okay, let me correct you there. I'm probably the biggest, and I'm not just talking in terms of size, introvert you will ever come across. So every time I go on stage, I have to tell myself that get it right, get it right, get it right. No, Abu, I'm not a super extrovert. I'm a super foodie. I am not an extrovert. I'm actually an introvert. I am, I think, an INFJ personality. If I go by the Myers-Briggs test, I'm actually an introvert. To your point, Minakshi, that how do we overcome shyness? Uh, Let me ask you a question. Do you swim, or can you
I'm
swim?
learning. I'm
You're learning.
learning to swim.
You're
Yeah.
learning to swim.
I
Excellent.
can float. Yes.
Excellent. How are you learning to swim? Are you learning it by sitting by the poolside?
No, I practice whenever I get the
So you
chance.
go into the water, right?
Yes.
You go into the water every time you get a chance. The same goes for public speaking. You will not learn public speaking until you come onto the stage. Now, there may be many reasons that I am shy, I am afraid, I am nervous, I am this, I am that. But you have to overcome all of that and you have to come on stage, because the stage will put up a fight. You have to fight back because only one of you is going to win. Just like you will not learn swimming sitting at the poolside, you will not learn public speaking by watching other people speak or sitting in the audience. My advice to you, much as your body, mind, soul tell you, do not go for this table topic, go for that table topic, make a fool of yourself on the stage, because nobody is going to judge you in this environment. At least I can promise you that. And I am a person who does not take kindly to judging, and I've been around for 5 years. And if I can survive that, I think you will easily be able to survive that. So any hesitation that is coming from your part. Before I close the answer, if you ever feel nervous, and this is for everyone, understand this thing: nervousness and excitement spring from the same source in the brain. It's just a matter of choice. If you're going to choose nervousness, you will be nervous on stage. You will give the worst speech of your life, no matter how hard you have practiced. But if you choose to be excited, and even if your speech is not something that would win you a championship, it will still put you in contention. It is like, to put a cricket analogy, fielding. A great fielding side will make even a mediocre bowling attack look lethal. And the most lethal of bowling attacks will do nothing if catches are dropped. So choose excitement over nervousness. Hope that answers your question, Meenakshi. Amit is putting up a hand. Meenakshi, does that answer your question?
Yes, Rupenda. Thank you very much.
All the best. And Amit, let's hear your question.
I have a question like generally the people with whom I am comfortable, I can speak them, I can share with them stories, my story for hours. But when I am sitting to writing my speech, I am not able to organizing my thoughts. So could you suggest me on that?
Well, I can give you two examples. One is Virender Sehwag, right? He was asked that how come you play so well against fast bowlers? He said I play the ball, not the bowler. The other thing example is that of Martina Navratilova. At 43, she's hitting the ball as hard as anybody else. And they asked her, what is the secret? She said, the ball does not know how old I am. So when you are writing a speech, specifically a speech that is on a platform such as Toastmasters, you are writing for a universal audience. Think of a universal audience, think what will agree with them, and then tweak your content later on. For example, I tweaked the content in my speech in Chicago because I knew that they would not be able to relate to certain things that are relevant to India. So first write a generic speech, something that works for everyone, and then tweak it to your specific audience. Does it answer your question, Amit?
Yes, I will try with that.
Yep.
Rupinder, I do have one question.
Somebody said.
Yeah, here, Jatin Agrawal.
Okay.
Uh, can you see me?
I'm trying to, but you go ahead, ask your question.
Okay. So, my query is, whenever I'm writing a speech, I'm a person who don't have that much experience or anything that I can give to community or my audience. But my only objective is, whenever I'm writing a speech, is that people at least have some laugh, or they at least have some good time through from my speeches. I only care about that particular thing. So it comes to now this thing comes to humor. When I'm writing the speech, I try to write some jokes or any kind of humor in that speech. So at that point of time, I'm practicing only at myself. I'm just practicing my speech by delivering it one word, one time, two times, n number of times. But then, how can I decide that joke or that thing is working? Because I'm not presenting to anyone. I'm just practicing it with myself.
Good.
The only thing is how your joke or humor is working. How can you decide that, and how you got to know about that particular thing is working before going on stage or presenting your
Okay.
speech?
Okay, I'm afraid this is going to be the last answer. I will not be able to take more questions. The challenge here is you need to practice humor in everyday life. You need to find humor in everyday life. What possibly is happening is you're trying to find humor only for your speech. You're not finding humorous situations in daily life. And that is the only way that you will learn humor. You can go to any humorous speech coach, they will also tell you the same thing. And they will all, of course, give you other knowledge also, that humor is tragedy plus timing, that one person's tragedy is another person's comedy. They'll give you advice like that also. But the most important thing is that you need to look for humor in daily life, which means that you have to become a funny person, which means that you have to become a positive person first. Humor is a skill, it can be learned. And I can tell you, because I was not a humorous person till about a few years ago. I still am not. There is a vastly divided opinion over my humorous skills. I think I'm a genius. People think I'm insufferable. But the point is that humor is a skill that can be learned. So, as a child, for example, I was bullied a lot, and somebody would say something to me, and 6 weeks down the line, I would get the absolute comeback. That, okay, this is what I hit him back with. And I would wait for that person to say that thing to me, to say that thing to me. But never, never, ever did I get that chance. But what happened was that my mind was so focused on coming up with these comebacks. My next comeback came to me 5 weeks later, and gradually it came down to 4 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and then 2 days, and then 2 hours, then 2 minutes, and ultimately it takes 2 seconds for you to come back. And that is where you'll know that you've learned the skill of humor. It is practice. You have to look at the funny side of everything. For example, Amir might say that he's a foodie. I'll say big deal. I mean, that would give me an identity crisis. The point is, I could have taken his argument point blank that, yeah, you are a foodie. But I challenged that and I tried to build a humorous situation out of it. So there is no magic pill for humor, but it is a skill and it can be learned. The trick is to find humor in everyday life. It starts by reading jokes, amusing yourself. You will start having a positive outlook on life. Then suddenly you will find that you are developing jokes on your own. You're seeing the funny side of things. And then comes the more difficult part where you get people to laugh at your jokes. That is what takes time. But ultimately, you learn the knack of it. So keep on practicing. Thank
Sir,
you, everyone.
I would request you to entertain just one last question, which is by Toastmaster Paramjot. He was raising his hand for so long.
Okay,
I will
on
request.
demand. Paramjot.
Thank you.
So, sir, my question to you is quite basic. Like many of the new members who have joined, they have one question that how to present an icebreaker. Like what you have told us is is for the speech level. But if I tell this information to a person who's giving speech for the first time, it can be quite overwhelming for that. Like once you get in the water, you start exploring, then you will say, okay, this is a motivational. But for the first icebreaker, for that first step, I want that to be very much strong wherever the member is giving. So can you share anything on this key, how to take that first step for icebreakers specifically?
Paramjot, the answer will probably disappoint you. But if you go through the icebreaker project of Pathways, I think it is probably one of the best documented, one of the best documented projects. It will ask you the specific questions. It will literally construct a content outline for you. All you have to do is add content to that content outline and you will have your speech. Now, content is taken care of. Next comes delivery. And I think this is where, for delivery and expressions, I think this is where the mentor comes in. This is where the mentor needs to draw upon their experiences and they need to advise that, okay, this is where you can make it funny. Not being too, you know, not being too hard on them, because sometimes a mentor might get a joke that they might think is wonderful, it's funny. It might not be funny to the mentee, right? So not thrusting a joke down their throat or some content down their throat. The point is that if you go through the icebreaker project properly, it will create a content outline from you. From that content outline, you have your speech. All you have to do is go to your mentor and say that, okay, this is my speech, go through this, let me know if I can work with this. Whatever suggestions they make, incorporate them or give them a good reason as to why you cannot incorporate them, and then work on your expressions. The biggest challenge that icebreaker speakers have is that they feel overwhelmed, particularly when there are more experienced people around. But they need to understand that nervousness and excitement, one, they spring from the same source in the brain. Second, when you are starting out, your enthusiasm is your momentum. Ultimately, experience creeps in and experience tries to trump enthusiasm. But enthusiasm is a very good thing for getting started. You have that going for you because you are, you know, like that, you are like a honeybee. Technically, bees aren't supposed to fly because apparently their wings are too light to carry them. They don't care for any such thing. They just flap their wings and they fly. And that is what you are. All you have to do is take flight. It's as simple as that. Choose excitement over nervousness, get a proper mentoring. The content will take care of itself. And do not expect that, do not, and okay, one last thing. The one thing that has worked for me every time I have won a speech contest or when I've won the best speaker award, I find that I'm not worried about getting that award at all. I'm just bothered about going up on stage, doing my best, and hoping that everything else will take care of itself. So go with the intent of enjoying yourself on the stage. Do not go with the intent of, okay, I'm going to make my mentor happy today, or the VP education will be proud of me, or that girl will be impressed with me. Do not go with that intent. Just go with the intent that, okay, this is my stage. I'm going to get 4 to 6 minutes. Not many people get that kind of a time. There are 30 people listening to me for 6 minutes, which means that 6 times 30, it is 180, which is 3 hours of effective time that I've got at my disposal. I might as well make sure that everyone has a good time for those 3 hours. Go with that intent. Go with the intent of enjoying yourself. And once you enjoy yourself, everything else will take care of itself. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for being such a patient audience. My wife will tell you that I'm not an easy person to live with, but thank you very much for being such a patient and a nice audience. I hope what I spoke was of value to you. And Paramjot has my number, Shrijita has my number, Mayank has my number, and Sonika has my number. Abu has my number. So feel free to reach out and ask any question that you might want to ask offline. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your precious time and this amazing, insightful session. I'm sure people had lots of takeaways with them. So thank you so much. I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Paramjot, our presiding officer, to conclude the meeting.
Sure. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sonika. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupinder, for that such an insightful and enlightening session. People, you must have heard of a phrase that I am just call or message away. Whenever I reach out to Rupinder sir, he said, I am just your thought away. Okay. Whenever you want to know about speeches, just go back and look at this video. He is a very helping and humble guy. Whenever you will reach out to him for your queries, just collect them and you will reach out and he will definitely there to help you. And thank you so much, sir. It's a very honor to have you here. And always, wherever we have attended your session, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being here. So now I would like to everybody to please vote for the best anchor. It was left in the meeting. So please vote for the best anchor, Toastmaster Parul and Toastmaster Amir. Six more votes are required. I request you to please vote. It's your voting right. In more seconds, I'll close the voting. Thank you so much, everyone. So great. Let me share the awards today. As you all know that today Mayank is not operating this, and I also would like to share something that the certificate which you see digitally is created by this very person, gentleman Rupinder Singh. The technology which we are using is created by Rupinder Singh. He has given this tribute to Toastmasters, and I request everybody to please come on. Sorry?
You're using that sheet?
Yes, sir. Yes, we use that sheet in every meeting. Thank you so much for this. Yes, sir. I request everybody to please come on the camera. If you think this session has helped you, if you think Toastmaster Rupinder Singh has really enlightened you, there is a lot of insight and expertise in public speaking. And if you are ready to fail while trying, please come on the video. Thank you so much. Let me take a memory out of this. Great. Thank you so much, Rupinder sir.
Most welcome.
Now it's time to distribute the awards. So the best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Amit. Congratulations, Toastmaster Amit, for delivering a clear message in your speech. The best evaluator goes to one person who has the highest ask in his speech, and that is Toastmaster Paramjot Singh. I'll work on that. Thank you so much for electing me as the best evaluator. The best auxiliary role player goes to the person who is doing this for the first time, and whenever she comes on the stage, he always makes sure that she's doing it with a dedication. Congratulations, Toastmaster Diksha, for being the best auxiliary role player. The best anchor goes to somebody who's quite responsible and very dedicated, who is attending this meeting for Canada. Toastmaster Parul, congratulations to you. Without further ado, let's get into the Make Me Better session. So I would move all people in the breakout room and let's meet after this session. So members, can we do this session here, because I'm having some technical issues with the breakout room. Can we do this session here so that less time is wasted? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for cooperating. So I would like
I will.
Sure, sir.
Param, I will take your leave. Thank you everyone for having me here. I have to leave because dinner is ready and my domestic peace will be at risk if I don't leave. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye, sir.
So Toastmaster Mohan, you can start with the speakers. Speaker Abdul is not here, so you can do with the two speakers which are currently present. So so that yes, Parul, yes. Parul, you are on mute.
For the Make Me Better session, do we need to be on live on YouTube?
We can be. If you want, I can stop it. I can really stop it. Okay, I'll stop it.